episode 7. We also have videos and other content on YouTube, IG, TV, and Facebook. Let's get straight into it. You want to pause that for a second? So for the audio format, we have Nigel video playing in the background. It's called MK Ultra T.
Ultra 2.
Ultra 2, there you go. Check that out. If you want to know what Nigel T is all about and the kind of music he makes, man, check it out. It's a wonderful video. It's crazy. It fits the perfect concept and theme of why we have him on here. You know, this is our...
Appreciate you.
Of course. This is our Halloween episode. So let's get straight into it, man.
Yes.
My guy Nigel T in the building. What's up, my guy? How you doing?
What's up? How you doing? I'm doing very good, actually.
Appreciate you coming through, bro.
Yeah, no problem. Thanks for having me, dude.
Okay, so I was listening to your EP, you know, I Think I'm Haunted.
Yeah.
You just put it out in Halloween? Halloween?
I dropped it, right when the full moon came out on Halloween.
Dope.
Literally.
Why did you want to drop a project on Halloween?
So actually, what day was it? Wednesday, before Halloween. So like 2-3 days before Halloween.
Mm-hmm.
My car had gotten stolen. Yeah, I walk out of my house to go to work. I walk out, my car is supposed to be in front of my house. I'm like, where the hell's my car? I go to the backyard, car's not there.
No way.
And I'm just like, I'm so confused at first because, you know, no one like automatically jumps to like, oh, my car's been stolen.
Right.
You know, I'm like thinking like, man, did I park it somewhere?
Yeah,
like did I I don't know, did I like fuck around or what? But anyway, so the car got stolen. I had no idea where it was. I was calling the fucking impound place. Damn. They had no fucking idea or record of it. So thought it had gotten stolen. I was supposed to have had to file a police report, but police never showed up to my house.
Oh, wow.
So that's why we don't rely on Minneapolis police right there.
We'll get into that.
No, but so I was just really pissed. I didn't have a car. I knew I was going to be in my house because I couldn't go anywhere. Obviously, I didn't have a car. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to just release some shit. Like, I'm just going to drop a project because I always wanted to drop something for Halloween.
Right.
But I've always, like, overthought it and wanted to make it just something really, like, crazy and wild and wicked and creepy and all that good shit. But this time I was just like, you know, I have a limited amount of time. I got 2 days.
I'm doing it.
So I'm just going to do it with 2 songs. I'm just going to do short. I'm going to do sweet.
Wait, you did this in 2 days?
In 2 days, yeah.
Oh, wow.
So the whole thing... like I posted today, like the beats, the writing, the recording, the mixing, the mastering, everything that you hear on that was all just done on my laptop in my room.
And you're doing this, you're doing everything.
Yep. Right now I'm pretty much doing everything. I once in a while I'll hire somebody else to engineer for me to kind of take the load off because it does get to be a lot doing everything yourself. It's shit, man. My ears hurt from doing that project because this project, if you guys listen to this shit, which I recommend you do, it's wild. Like, it's just loud. It's crazy. And having that in your ears with these headphones at loud volumes while you're mixing is, the kind
of music, sorry to cut you off, the kind of music you make, man, I've got to feel sorry for you as far as, like, I mean, just like the time and effort it puts into doing all of that, like the editing, engineering, like that got to be like a painful process, just constantly doing everything yourself.
It's painful, but it's super rewarding.
Perfect.
It's like, it's like you don't have to wait on anyone. You get your own.
You have to do everything yourself.
And you get your own creative, like, output on it.
Right.
Because sometimes you get shit back and you don't like how the way it was done, certainly, or something like a certain way it was done or whatever. And
that's perfect, too, because that's kind of what I like about this process, too, as far as, like, what I'm doing here. I get to come up with, like, the days I publish it, the editing of the video, the audio, the post-production, when it comes out, YouTube, all of that. Everything is me. So when one video come out, even if it gets, like, 10 views, I'm just like, man, I did everything. I did all of that work. So I definitely understand what you mean when you say, like, you feel that joy and stuff. So, yeah. As far as the project, though, why only 2 songs? I know you say you did it in 2 days, but did you go into it long-term thinking, you know what, I just want to do 2 songs?
So I made I was originally just going to do 1 song.
Right.
And that was the very first song, I Think I'm Haunted, the title track.
Right.
I made that one the day I was like, okay, I'm going to release something for Halloween. And then I got that done in like a day or less or something like that. Nice. And I was like, man, I really like this. Like, it just got me in a vibe. I was like, oh shit, like now I want to do another song.
I need another one.
Yeah, so then I did that song, the second song, and that one kind of took me a little longer.
Right.
That one, I think I was just burnt out because I really didn't sleep very much when I was doing this shit. Like it took me so long from like making the beat and getting every like the bass to hit right and the snares to not be too loud and the just like everything with that type of shit. And then, you record for an hour and then you have to edit for hours. I just was not sleeping very much. So I was like, you know what?
Takes up so much.
2 songs is it.
And people don't understand, especially when you're working with audio, even when you do videos, like what might look like 30 seconds of an audio or something that you hear, it might take me like 3 hours to get that 30 second perfectly done the way I want it to be.
Exactly.
So it sounds like 30 seconds to you, but it's taking me 3 hours to get to that 30 seconds.
Yes,
it's a long process, man.
Exactly.
It's a long process. So, I think I came across you at Shut Up and Rap in Minneapolis, right?
Yep,
right.
Yep.
And I think you were doing a performance on stage, and your performance was so crazy as far as like the energy you had on stage, how you kind of forced the people on like that's there to kind of react to your music and not really give them like they can't just stand in the background and not notice someone's performing. When you get on stage, it's like they had to feel you. So I just wanted to know like what goes into like your process when you're making music. What is your thought process? How do you come up? And by the way, anyone, if you haven't checked out his music, this is a perfect opportunity for you to, after this podcast, type in Nigel T on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube.
Pretty much anywhere that you can look up music, just type me in.
Just for you to understand the vibe that he gets and the energy I'm talking about, you should like probably check out a video of him or so. But
a song or two, you'll get a taste.
You'll see what I'm talking about and why I really thought it was important for me to interview him for this special Halloween episode. But so what is your thought process? What goes into like, okay, when you want to do a song, what are you thinking mentally?
So a lot of times my mental process with making music, to put it the most simply, I'm like the most myself when I'm making music. I'm the most uncensored, unfiltered opinions and things I want to say, because when I'm recording and writing and shit, it's like me by myself in my room. It's just me. Like, I don't have to worry about any outside influence, because there are times where I've been to studios and there's 4 other artists outside the booth, and I'm rapping shit and I'm writing in the booth to the beat, and you'll be thinking, how is and it's something I don't like to admit, but it has passed my mind. Like, you're worried about what other people's judgment's going to be. You know what I mean? You're like, how are they going to react to this line or whatever? And it gets you a little bit overthinking. But when I'm by myself and making music, which I prefer, it's just like no worries. Like, it's just me saying what I need to say.
Right.
And so it gets to be the most unfiltered. And a lot of it's just like mental overload shit I just like to get out. Like to be told, like the emotions that build up that people just like don't let out, or they like just explode on a fucking loved one or their girlfriend or their friend or something. Like, that's the type of shit I like to put into the music, and that's why it is so crazy and so wild, because it's like, that's the shit I don't want in me anymore.
That's why you're letting it out there.
Me letting the demons out, basically.
That's true. That's true. So now, as far as like, do you remember your first song? Like, how did you start making music?
So I originally started out just freestyling.
Nice.
I'm from small town Minnesota originally. Montevideo is the city I'm from originally. It's like 4,000.
What is it called?
Montevideo.
It's
Where is it? Southwest corner of the state. No. It's super small by like Wilmer and like
how many people would you say is in the town?
Like 4,000.
4,000.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not bad.
It's really small.
Right.
But so anyway, I grew up there and went to high school there, and I had a friend who just like really liked rap music. I wasn't as big into rap music then. I knew what it was. I liked Eminem, but I didn't know like the whole category and how many artists it was deep with and all that stuff. So anyway, he got me really into rap music. I remember when I was like 15, and I just started like freestyling when I was like 17. After that,
Do you remember what your freestyle was about? How old were you?
I was like I said, I was about like 17 when I started freestyling.
What you freestyling about?
And I would just freestyle about shit like weed. I like to smoke a lot of weed in high school. It's just freestyle about partying, weed, being a good rapper, even though I wasn't a good rapper.
Gotta fake it till you make it.
No, but then my first song I do remember. So I got a microphone when I was like 20.
Right.
And I started, like, I had a laptop and a microphone, and I was starting to take it a little more serious as far as releasing things and learning more about it. And my first song was just like a like 16 to like 32 bar thing I wrote to like a Big Pun beat, if you know who that is.
Yeah, I know Big Pun.
I just took one of his beats and wrote. I don't remember what the song was about. Probably something similar. Weed and being a good rapper.
Being a good rapper.
Even though I wasn't a good rapper.
You gotta fake it till you make it, man. Like I said. Do you listen to Big Pun?
Not as much anymore, but I used to really listen. Like when I was, like I said, just getting into rap music in high school. Like I really like tried to delve as deep back into the history of it as I could, because I just like my buddy was into it,
right?
But when I've always been super into music. I've always been creative. You know, I was in bands or tried to form bands when I was a middle schooler. I've played piano, cello, guitar, drums. Like I've played everything, and so once I got rap in my like mind and a taste for it, I was obsessed. Like I grabbed on it. My friend was the one who was, you know, showed me to it, but I was the one who just dove into it. Yeah, and like I was like, I want to do this shit. Like so now it's like a combination of all the instruments and all the music tastes I've done, plus that like heavy obsession for rap that I found later in life is all like jumbled into the taste and the sound, and it's really, I like that I've found rap late. I like that I found it late.
Right.
Now,
is it if I said like and I mean I'm trying to like give my audience like a perfect description of your music. If I said something like Halloween themed music, is there a perfect description of your music, or do you think it's something more than that? Look at me as I make a mess in the studio. Or would you say it's something more than that? Nice, fine. You're fine.
Okay, word. I would say, I mean, it is definitely like a Halloween theme for sure. Right. I could see a lot of people saying that. Well, the best way I describe it is like just overload. That's the best way I describe it to people, is like you know, you hear music about other shit when people are happy and sad and all this shit. Like I just call my shit like emotional overload,
right?
To the point where you're just like, you know, just
it's a lot of emotions.
You just can't handle the shit anymore, type of stuff. But I like to like point it in a way where it's not just crazy yelling all the time. You know what I mean? I like to make it catchy or enjoyable to listen to or whatever.
Now it's still rap. At the end of the day, you're still rapping. You're still putting metaphors on the beat. It's just like when I hear your music, I'm like, it's obviously there's a lot of pain. There's a lot of emotions that's coming out of that. And briefly, you talked about your first rap being about weed and stuff like that. Yeah. And I noticed like you rap a lot about drugs and drugs that you do. Like just a little bit. Yeah, just what are all the drugs you do? What kind of drugs do you do? I mean, it's I'm noticing. I notice a lot of drug reference.
Currently, I actually don't do very many. Okay. I made a change in my life, luckily, because there's a lot of music in the past though that I have released. A lot of this stuff in my videos. I used to do cocaine a lot.
Oh wow.
Smoke a lot of weed. I've smoked weed since I was like 14.
Okay.
I do acid and mushrooms. I like psychedelics a lot. That's another, like when you talk about where I'm at mentally when I make music, I like psychedelics in music because
you can feel that.
It just flows. Right. Like there's again no critical like judgment on yourself. You're just going.
You're just going.
Done DMT. That shit's wild.
What's DMT?
Oh man, DMT's like they call it the spirit molecule. It's like this. Oh man, the best way to describe it is this like chemical compound that's in everything. Wow. And it's what's in your brain when you die. It's like released, and that's what makes people like have all this afterlife and like you know, holy divine like moments when they flash and then they come back and like shit like that. I think it's, well, they haven't proven it, but I'm pretty sure that is just DMT being released in your brain.
Are you talking about like when people say they see like the afterword or something?
Yeah, like Okay. So like when you smoke this
the euphoric feeling that you get after.
Yeah. So when you smoke the shit, like you actually like feel like you're in that realm. Like people call about like if I would suggest watching. There's a thing on Netflix actually about DMT that's super interesting, and people talk about their experiences.
What is it called? Do you know what it's called?
DMT, the spirit molecule, is what it's actually called.
That's what the Netflix thing is called?
Yep. Okay. And so they all talk about like blasting off and shit in this documentary. So like when I smoked it, I was like, I want to blast off, and the very first time someone was like, take light hits, you know, like get used to it or whatever. I was like, yeah, fuck that. Like I'm trying to blast off. So it took a huge fucking hit of the shit. And I just remember like inhaling, it makes your body shut down. Oh, wow. Like you leave your consciousness, your spirit leaves your body literally when you blast off. And that's like what happened. I
don't want anything that's going to make anything leave my body. I'm sorry. But that's crazy.
No, man, it's a wild experience. Honestly, like I couldn't even say like what I've experienced without just sounding like completely ridiculous. Listen, because it's just like, but you just leave your body, you go through time or space or whatever the fuck, and you just come back a different, like It was weird.
And it's called DMT.
It's called DMT. Yeah.
Okay. Do you know what DMT means?
Oh fuck! I don't even remember exactly how you say it. Like dihepto.
And how do you take it? Is it something you eat? Is it something you smoke? Is it some? How do you intake it?
You could smoke it. Okay. I'm pretty sure you could eat it. I'm not sure exactly with that, but it's a chemical like found in most plant life, and like I said, it's like in our brains naturally and shit. It's just not like released all the time. Diheptomythtryptamide or some shit like that. That's what it stands for. So I know it's like some scientific name like that. I don't have it memorized. People would think I would, I bet, but no. But I've done a lot of other shit too that's like not good. Right. Not like when I was young, the place I grew up, drugs were like what we did because it was so small. We were bored as fuck, and we didn't have people like, hey, make music, be creative. Right. Like in school, they were just like, go to the military or go to college, and we were all like,
two options.
We're not doing either of that, so we're just gonna get high. And yeah, so it was just like, I did a lot of dumb shit, but now I'm glad that I've like done all that young.
Right.
Because I know people that are older than me that are like getting into some of the shit that I've done young, and I'm like, man, like,
how were you able to like recover from it? Like, how were you able to like beat that and not like be dependent on it?
Did you do
therapy or anything?
I didn't do any like therapy with anybody like professional or any shit like that. Mm. I basically just did my own type of shit. Like I said, psychedelics are like really what I did a lot. So, and that's like my main choice of drug. So if, I don't even call it a drug necessarily, but, it's like my main choice of substance to do. And, when I felt like I wanted to do shit, like when I was like getting heavy into cocaine, I was addicted to it for a little while. And, whenever I felt I wanted to do it, I would just like trip a little bit, and it would kind of get my mind right. Because when you trip, you like self-reflect on yourself. Wow. You look in on yourself. At least I do. I look very internally on like what I need to change, what I want to do better, things like that. And it was just like an eye-opening moment when I'm tripping and I'm addicted to cocaine, and it's just like, man, like this is not who you want to be, like kind of thing. Like I just had to like realize myself, like you don't like yourself, and you're sitting here like wondering why you don't like yourself, why you're doing like the self-destructive things, so
was there at those moments where was that helping the music? Do you think like the drugs was like helping you make better music, or you were just doing it because you're dependent on it at the time?
I didn't do it because I was dependent on it at first anyway. I did it because we would just be at parties or whatever, you're in the moment of trying to have fun, you're like, why not do this shit? And then it kind of opened a door of like becoming dependent on it to stay up and do shit, like especially music. I was using it a lot for like studio and shows.
Was it helping the music? Like, do you think you were making better music?
I don't know if I would say I was making better music. It definitely made a different kind of music.
Okay.
Like the MK Ultra 2 and Get Out of My Head. Trying to think if there was another one I released in that span of time.
When you were working on Gifted with the Purpose, what is it, GWAP?
Yeah, GWAP.
Were you doing those?
No. When I did GWAP, I was very kind of in the same place I am now, just smoking weed, and like I didn't even take psychedelics as much as I do now when I was doing GWAP. But that was like when I first started getting back into psychedelics again.
Okay. And I might have briefly said it. What's GWAP, and why did you name your last album title, right?
Yep. Gifted with a Purpose is like what the acronym is for that.
Gifted with a Purpose.
Yeah, I did GWAP because like, well, money, everybody wants money, you know what I mean? That's like what you always hear people talk about, but I kind of had it like an acronym because like the real money is like having a purpose and knowing what your like gift is to the world kind of thing. And it was a point in my life where I didn't know what the fuck. Like, before I made that project, I didn't know what the fuck I was going to do with, like, anything. Work, school, financial, creative. I was thinking about giving up on music. Like, there was just a lot going on where I didn't know. And, like I said, I just started getting back into psychedelics before I made this project, that GWAP project. Because I was on probation and couldn't do shit or whatever. And anyway, so I got back into psychedelics, and it kind of made me again like realize like there's more you could be doing. There's like bigger, you could be doing better. This isn't where you want to be. This isn't who you want to be, kind of thing.
Right.
So I just made that project because it's like I know not exactly what my purpose is, so to say, but like with a purpose that I want to serve, that with the talents that I've been given and with the you know, the drive and the mindset that I've been given,
right.
I knew what it was that I wanted to do and the purpose I wanted to serve. And so that's what the project initially is kind of waking up and realizing your potential and believing in yourself and being confident is, I guess, what that project really was kind of like coming into myself, a sense, not doubting myself, not fearing myself or fearing failure or any of that shit. It was just like go time kind of album.
And I like that because one thing I noticed about that Gifted with the Purpose, it's a little bit more different than your other, like, you know, other projects that you've put out a little bit. I felt like, I mean, not to say like it's sunny or anything like that, but it's much more like,
it's a little lighter.
Yeah, it's much more lighter than your other kind of music. So I like that. So you spoke about this a little bit too. You just moved to Minneapolis. Where'd you move from?
Mankato. I lived in Mankato for the last 5 years.
So how's Mankato?
Mankato was all right. It was a fucking nice time for those 5 years. Like I made a lot happen, I feel like. So
what was some of your favorite things to do in Cato? Like, if everyone don't know, I graduated from I went to school in Mankato too.
Hell yeah,
so
Cato gang.
this is something we both Cato gang. Shout out to everyone that went to Mankato. Has been to Mankato. I live in Mankato, man. I still got hella people back there. I love you guys, man.
Mankato is pretty tight, man. I got a lot of good people out there still supporting and shit. But my favorite memories from Mankato. Performing at the What's Up Lounge, which I heard, I don't know if they closed like indefinitely or what, but I heard that they shut down, and that was a venue that like.
Is that from the pandemic too, huh?
Yeah. That place though, like shit, man, they've had so many good bands there and good performances, and like I remember just having like packed crowds in that place. Like that was a small bar, and we would just like pack it sometimes.
Guessing you like when you perform over there, it goes crazy, huh? Because just knowing your energy and from what I've seen that Shut Up and Rap, like I guessing been in that.
I definitely like shit when in Mankato. Watch this.
Oh gosh, I almost made that mess again. You want some more?
Oh yeah, thank you, sir. Yeah, in Mankato, man, I would try to get as crazy as possible. Like to the stuff you saw at Shut Up and Rap, honestly, was light compared to what I've done in Mankato as far as like being energetic and on stage. Because like, man, I've jumped over people. There was some dude trying to like hug me and shove his face in my crotch while I was performing one show. Yeah, it was fucking weird, man. And he kept trying to do it, and I finally like ran at the dude, and like while he was trying to put his arms out and hug me, I like ran at him and like put my hand on top of his head and like shoved his head down and like jumped over him.
For you guys listening to the audio, you gotta get the video and see the shit what he's trying to say.
This shit's hilarious though. Like I just shoved his head down and like jumped over him, like both my legs over him, and I ended up like eating shit because my leg clipped his shoulder. But I was like rapping, so I like fell on the ground, like tucked and rolled, still rapping, and like. Oh man, yeah, I used to get wild. I've fucking been in my boxers at the end of a show. That was on accident, but I fucking owned that shit.
How'd you end up in your boxers by accident?
So there was one we were doing with like an old group I used to work with. We were doing a group performance, and everything was like timed out. Yeah. And there was supposed to be like X amount of time between songs to do like changes for costumes because we were trying to make it all like intricate and all that. No. And I was changing, and they started shit too early, and I was in my underwear like backstage, and I'm supposed to start the song with the hook, and I'm like, fuck, like. I'm about to, like, the beat was dropping, and I'm like, fuck, I either gotta, like, run out there right now, or I have to, like, miss this song. Like, those are my options, man. And I'm like, fuck. So I just, like, ran out there. In the boxers. People went fucking nuts.
Is there a video of this?
There's a video of it, yeah.
And I'm surprised it hasn't gone viral, so that's crazy.
I tried not to post it too many places, honestly.
It doesn't matter why you go viral. If you go viral, you go viral. And the attention will come to the music later.
That's true. No, I've had it posted on Facebook, and when I did post on Facebook, that shit went bananas.
You could just imagine the title: Minnesota rappers hop on stage in his boxers and goes crazy. Yeah. You think that'll go viral? Listen, man, people search some crazy things online. Put that out there.
Yeah, it's on Facebook. I should definitely put
that on YouTube. Definitely.
TikTok that shit.
With a catchy title, that could go. Okay, so you spoke a little bit about Mankato and Minnesota. Just like what has 2020 in Minnesota taught you, and like as far as like all the protests and riots this summer, like what has been in Minnesota and just watching like the media attention and everything that came to Minnesota this summer, from like the war, just watching everyone, CNN, everyone talking about it, and all these news outlet out here. Like what has the whole summer kind of taught you?
Not to be like a negative ass motherfucker, but this summer has taught me about Minnesota that Minnesota is like one of the fakest states to ever fucking I mean, I've lived in multiple states, and
what have you lived?
Minnesota. I lived in Oregon.
Okay.
I lived in like Sioux Falls, shit. Okay. Like this shit though. I don't know.
Why do you think Minnesota's fake?
Well, just like with the whole, like you were saying, with the like protests and the media and all this shit, like everything about Minnesota has been so fake this year, just as far as what they portray it as, for one.
Right.
Two, like the people here, like I've realized is a lot of like a fake. Minnesota's like a fake nice state, like that Minnesota nice shit. I've noticed that shit ain't real. That's just passive aggression, like, or some shit. I don't know, but. And I'm not saying I've lived in Minnesota my whole fucking life. Like, right. I'm not trying to throw shade on this state. Like, I obviously fucking still live here because I enjoy it. But, yeah, man, I don't know. Just the way the media portrayed things. The police are fucking fake, justice, fake safety, fake, serving. So I'm saying
you didn't like the whole, like, how the media was here and what they were doing? Like,
I think the media portrayed a lot of the shit that happened. Most of the media outlets portrayed a lot of the shit that happened as, like, race war. People like that. People are out of control, destroying the city. But like that. The fucking undercover cops and shit were doing that shit, and they were there's like, dude, I saw cops like shooting straight at people with rubber bullets. Right. Like they were like walking. I was out there at like one of the protests. I remember they started like walking at me and a bunch of other people like with riot shields and armor and these big ass batons, and it was like terrifying because I wasn't doing anything, but I was like, these dudes are gonna fuck me up if they get the chance to, because they're fucking angry fucking little dick and fucking cops. I don't know. Like,
what's crazy was the media would come and get like a 2-minute clip of like something that happened like 2 hours and just boom,
and they'll bend it they'll bend it a little bit,
and they'll get the most heated moment from that exchange, like when either cops and civilians are either going there, and just that's what they would run with, and then it's like the whole world was seeing that as in like, oh, that's what's happening every day, when like the previous 1 hour 58 minutes it was peaceful people just walking with signs and protesting, but none of that would like come through on TV.
No, and that's the thing too though, is like I don't mean to say that Minnesota is like the only fake state. Hey, man, we're a fake ass nation. Let's be fucking real. But
we're calling out Minnesota now. They're fake nice.
But Minnesota, like I said, it just made me realize that we are fake. A lot of people are fake because they'll believe fake news. Yeah. They'll believe fake. I don't mean to sound like Donald Trump when I say that, but they'll believe like fake headlines. Like, for example, there was this picture of like, it was an article from like the New York Times or some shit, and there was a picture of 2 white dudes with like assault rifles standing in a parking lot, and it was like KKK members roll into New York and begin blah blah blah. But the real picture that this was taken from was there's 2 black dudes with assault rifles actually standing right next to these white dudes in the real picture, and these 4 guys are protecting one of their stores.
But they cut out
the 2 black dudes and just took the 2 white dudes and said they were supremacists, and it's like, that's the type of shit Minnesotans were sharing all over the place. And I'm, like I said, from small town. I have a lot of people from small town Minnesota. I've had to delete and cut ties with a lot of people from these small town places because the way that they believe anything that they see on the fucking internet. And that's what I mean is it's fake. I don't mean that people are intentionally fake, but like don't believe everything bullshit. Don't believe that shit, because it's just everything they're doing is trying to like twist a certain narrative with what's been going on in Minneapolis, and it's just like, if you haven't been out there for more than a day, you don't know. Like, you really don't know. And even the people, I've been out there for like a few days when it was originally like going on, and like I still don't know what the fuck was going on. I'm never gonna pretend like I do, like especially with something like that, because that was just such a big, you know what I mean? It was big global. Movement. It was big global. Absolutely. Yeah, and like, we can't say that we understand like the whole picture, especially when you're sitting in fucking
in your basement,
Benson, Minnesota, if anyone knows what the fuck that little dot is, and then like judging people and acting like you know the whole perspective, and that's just how we are as people. But like, we gotta wake the fuck up.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of what was displaying, like just what was portrayed, wasn't. Now, I'm not saying those things didn't happen, but it wasn't at the level of which like they would show like a gas station burning, and before like just try to make it look like it.
There was a problem. There was a lot of things going on that I don't agree with. Like, don't get me wrong. I don't think that it was handled. But the thing is, it wasn't handled right to begin with by the people that are supposed to handle shit right. You know what I mean? So it's like then they wanted to turn and blame all the citizens for doing what they did, but it's like you guys didn't do your job.
Exactly.
And now you're listening because people are going fucking insane in the streets. Yeah. And then you want to point fingers and criticize and shame those people for doing that, but like you hear them now kind of thing. You know what I mean?
You didn't listen to, like, you're reacting to what you're seeing when they're telling you there's something else that's been going on that you didn't react to that part. Yeah. No, absolutely. Just it was a crazy summer overall, but appreciate you sharing that and going into that with me. Quickly,
it also did teach me to be a positive note, not only negative. Minnesota is a very strong state, and a lot of people who weren't fucking power figures,
right?
You know, a lot of just the citizens of Minneapolis, South Minneapolis, where I live too. I saw step up, guard neighborhoods, band together,
absolutely,
and that's what it was about. Like a lot more shit would have gotten fucking. Been a lot worse, I think, if people weren't like hand in hand with each other, as many people that were hand in hand with each other anyway.
No, and we saw a lot of people, like a lot of individuals come out were like just protecting small businesses and stuff, which is dope. As somebody who, like, my mom has a small business. Once, and I was out there for a few of the protests, just mainly capturing and videotaping stuff. But just when I saw like people come out and defend small businesses, that actually meant something to me as somebody who mom has a small business in Minneapolis. Wouldn't want to see that get destroyed. So it was like just moments like that. I'm like, of course, those people would never get the recognition that they deserve.
Yeah, but the news, like you said, the news isn't going to capture that.
Capture those and show like the good part of Minneapolis and Minnesota. So just as far as music in Minnesota here quickly, don't mean to jump topic like that, but as far as music, is there anyone in Minnesota you're listening to, and like who are some of your favorite artists from Minnesota? Specifically from Minnesota, they got to be from Minnesota.
Ooh. That's a tough one, man.
We're trying to put our Minnesota artists out there, man.
There's so many good. Like there's just so much.
Put a few out. Put like 5 or so out there. Let me see.
So, first of all, I fuck with Downtown Rowland a lot. He's a good. Like I met him in Mankato like a year ago, or a little more than a year ago. We performed together, and we both just fucked with each other's style. And I've actually been like recording some shit with him, making some beats for him, fucking around. So he's dope as hell.
What's his name again?
Downtown Rowland. He's actually been on like tour with like Rhyme Sayers and shit, and like Prof. Like he's done some pretty tight shit, and he's just a dope dude. He's the nicest dude.
Okay.
And I really fuck with Cram's from Minneapolis. They are just absolutely wild. Like I think our styles are very similar, but I really like their shit. They always sound just on point. I don't know who mixes their stuff. I think they do it themselves, but they kill it. NFG Mayhem.
NFG.
You ever heard of
these
him?
are all artists you're putting me on to, man. I don't know any of these artists. I will definitely check them out. You can best believe I'll be watching these artists and tuning into what they're doing.
NFG, he records at Ill Studios, which is in St. Paul. That's where I record at every now and again too. But he's like 19. This kid just goes hard. Like I know the producer over at Ill put me on to him, started playing some music. I'm like, man, this dude just kills it. And he's like, yeah, he's only 19. I'm like, what the fuck? Like, this,
like, what was I doing when I was 19?
That's what I mean. Like, he doesn't even sound 19. Like, he doesn't look 19. He doesn't give off the presence of a 19. He's just, he's got it. He's already got it. And that's a fucking dope sign. Shout out Rich Goon. Rich Goon's fucking tight. I've always liked his shit that I've seen at Shut Up and Rap. He's fucking hella entertaining dude and funny as hell.
He's got some shit he's working on too.
Every time I see him drop something, I swear it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice.
Shout out to you, my dog, Rich Goon.
Yeah. Oh,
that's
fuck,
so that's what 4. We need one more.
I really fuck with Acronym too. He's another good homie.
Acronym?
He produces a lot of beats, which are all really fucking nice. But he's like just rapping. Dude don't rap enough, in my opinion. Okay. He's sleeping on himself.
Come on, wake up, Ack.
Get rapping. Rapping again. Actually, Acronym owes me a beat, too. He's been sleeping. We got to collab on this
So we need some bars and some beats from you. Would
you
say
ducking
Acronym?
Acronym, yeah. He's tight as fuck. He's a good dude, too.
So what are you working on anything for the rest of the year? Obviously, you just dropped, I think I'm Haunted. So that's out. That came out Halloween. Shout out to you for that.
Hell yeah.
Anything else you working on after that? I know it might be too quick to get into another project.
No,
it's
actually not. I'm actually always working on shit. I'm working on currently 3 projects right now.
Oh wow.
I need to mix one song, so I'm one song away from dropping this other one that's going to be coming out, which I'll tease right now. Spooky Songs for Scary People is what it's called.
That's what the title is?
That's what the title's called.
For Scary People.
Yeah.
See, so I don't feel bad when I say you make like Halloween theme music.
Exactly.
The title pretty much gives that out. Spooky Song for Spooky.
So that was going to be a Halloween project, but I had just falling outs with people and I didn't have songs.
That's ready. Why you can't depend on nobody.
Exactly.
Man. You got to be able to do everything yourself because people can only let you down, man.
But that's the thing, like you said, it's always kind of Halloween themed. Right. That's the nice thing about my music. I feel like is that I can release it whenever.
Honestly,
and it's gonna always give that effect.
And this might sound like I'm hyping you up a little bit. I feel like honestly, you have that kind of music, and you can generate that fan base to where like if your music go, everything else will go. Like as far as like just the audience that you're going to build, you could build a genuine audience because like I said, you make a specific kind of music. So when that audience comes and like, you know,
that's what I realized.
It's going to be like a genuine audience. You're not fighting for like the broad radio audience. You have a specific, and that's why
that's what I like already is that people either love it or they hate it. And if it's too much, I get it. But the people who appreciate it makes me enjoy it more.
Love it. Like
and that's what I mean. Is like you understand the mad, like you get it. You know what I mean?
And I could be honest. Your music might not be specifically for me. Like I think you're a dope person. I know you individually. That's why I can kind of like listen to it and say, okay, your music might not be specifically for me, but I can watch it and say, you know what? His audience, his core audience, like the people he's making music for, like they're gonna strongly believe in him and like ride for him and support his branding, support his whatever endeavor, like the tour. You're the type of person when you tour, like you can create crazy excitement from it because your tour are gonna be engaging. People are they have no choice but to vibe to your music.
Well, I appreciate it, man.
No, always.
That's the goal. That's the goal for sure. I'm not trying to grind to get to that shit, but. Yeah, that's what I mean though. Is like I think I can release that kind of music, like you said, Halloween theme anytime and make it work.
Yeah,
that's what I do like about it. Is I don't have to.
You don't have to wait for Halloween.
Yeah, I don't have to put too much thought into the release time and date and all that shit. Right. So yeah, Spooky Songs for Scary People is going to be the next EP.
Okay.
I'm one song away. I just have to finish mixing and mastering that one.
You have a release date or anything for that yet?
I do not have a release date, but I am planning before 2021.
Okay.
I'm planning before the end of the year, so.
And I like that. Your work ethic is crazy. You're consistently putting on work.
I'm trying to, yeah. I'm trying to be more consistent. That was one thing in the past that I didn't like is I was very spacey.
Yeah.
It was good. I always tried to keep the quality as good as possible because there was so much space between everything.
Right.
So it's like I wanted everything to be like punch, wait a little while. Okay, here's a punch, wait a little while. But now I'm just like, I just boom, 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 boom. Like I just want to fucking start putting a bunch of shit out and stay consistent and still quality, but consistent too,
That's dope. And then speaking of quality here quickly, one more thing I'll say. I mean, I just gave you prop earlier. I'll be honest with you also too. One thing I do believe, I think you could get a little better at branding. Branding yourself as far as like just like your music already has a sound naturally. As when I say branding, it just means like the cover art, stuff like that. And I have a dope dude that I think I should connect you with as far as like, I think for the kind of music you make and the brand that you represent, if he kind of gets behind you and like helping you like develop that brand wise as far as, because I think if you put all that together with the artist that you are and you've been able to produce, edit and do your own kind of audio and put out work frequently as you do, if you get the branding right, I think you could be up out of here.
That's literally the biggest thing is getting like, I need to start linking up with photographers too. That's one thing the COVID thing has been really like hard with.
Messed that up for everybody.
Yeah, but when I was like a year ago, I used to post just like the craziest photos and like just wild, like, eyes rolling in the back of my head, like chest ripped open, like a bunch of shit like that.
The cover art for I think I'm Haunted. Why'd you go with that route? By the way, if you guys want to know what I'm talking about, just search up. You say it's on SoundCloud right now, but it's gonna be on.
It's gonna be on everything: Spotify, iTunes. I just uploaded it to
search
DistroKid today.
Nigel T, SNIGEL. I think I'm Haunted. Just to understand what we're talking about, the cover art. Why'd you go with that cover art?
That's actually a doll that my friend sent me a picture of. I've had it in my like thing forever. Like it's been in my Snapchat memories or some shit. Yeah. And I just needed a cover because like I said, I threw this together in like 2 days, and I was like, trying to talk to people or whatever and talk to cover dudes, and then I was like, honestly, not to sound cheap, but I was like, do I really want to pay like a $50 cover for a 2-song EP that I made in 2 days? And I was like, I gotta have something I can like work with, so looking. I found that creepy ass fucking doll. Like he said, go check it out if you have. And it's just fucking weird. So I like threw that weird filter on it to make it look like.
But I mean, in a weird way too, I like that because it shows like you're not waiting for it to be perfect before you put it out. Like, you can't wait for everything to be perfect. People was like, even with this podcast when I started, it wasn't anywhere close to this. I was just like, you know what, man, you've been wanting to do podcasts for a year. Just get out there, just do it. It doesn't matter if it's perfect, the idea is right, and that's kind of what you did with it.
Yeah,
you didn't. I can't wait to pay this person to take 3-4 days to come up with a perfect art. I need this out in 2 days.
Yeah,
boom, put it out.
That's what you said is the biggest thing that musicians, I feel like, don't
get out your head.
Yeah, get out. Like, quit waiting for it to be perfect, like you said, because you're not. First of all, I'm not Drake.
Right.
I'm not Travis
You're never
Scott.
gonna get.
I'm not. I don't have
branding.
I don't have.
The marketing budget,
and I don't have a team of engineers behind my shit making it sound amazing.
You've
and
got to do it now
and perfect. Yeah, that's the thing is those dudes can wait for it to be perfect because they're making so much fucking money.
Right. As we talk, his phone. But oh wait, that's my phone.
Oh,
sorry, my fault.
bad.
My fault. There we go.
But yeah, no, like I just figured like don't wait for it to be perfect because, you're just gonna kill yourself like creatively and kill your spirit about it because that's the thing is that when I used to work with people in the past and mixes would take a long time. There's times where you kind of kill your own excitement for it to be released. Yeah. Because you're sitting there listening to it and listening to it and listening to it.
Critiquing and judging every little thing.
You start critiquing it and you get sick of it. Man. You know what I mean? Like me, when I put these songs out, it's the most excited I've ever been about a song I put out because I put it out so fast.
Put it out quickly.
Yeah, because I loved it and I was like, I love this. Here you go.
Right.
Most of the time it's like, oh, I love this. It's going to sit in my Dropbox for fucking 5 months until I get something figured out like a video or whatever. And yeah, man, I'm just trying to get back to music. That's one thing that's really like helped me once I like quit. Like I said, I quit doing like harder drugs. I don't even drink like that much anymore at all. Once I kind of stepped away from that stuff, and I wondered like, why am I so like just stressed all the time and I'm upset about shit and I'm not happy. Yeah. I was trying to like commercialize myself too much. I was trying to make myself a product. You know what I mean?
Branding
so someone
yourself.
wanted to branding myself, but I was getting to the point where I was stressing when things wouldn't go a certain way or when I wouldn't get a certain result as quickly or like, I don't know. Like I said, I was just trying to make myself too much of a product and I think I wasn't enjoying making music. Yeah, I wasn't making genuinely what I wanted to make.
Focus on everything other than the music.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And it was becoming just stressful. So now, like you said, I'm worried less about everything being perfect, and I just want to get back to making music. And that's another thing this EP kind of like, that's why it was so fun. I had such a great fucking time. It's because it was just like, have fun, make the music, put it out.
And I like that. Even though, like I said, even though it's 2 songs, I like it because it's like, you're getting, it's like almost like a capsule, like how brands do capsules, like not even a whole collection. They might just put out 2 or 3 pieces or something and call it a capsule. That's kind of like where I felt like this EP, I Think I'm Haunted, is. It's just like, okay, here goes 2 songs right on Halloween, gives you something to listen to, give you the vibe to. You know what you're getting from Nigel T. There goes 2 songs. Boom. It's on SoundCloud. It's on Apple Music. It's on Spotify. Go listen to it.
Yep, exactly. And the thing is, too, it being 5 minutes long total with 2 songs, like, it was Halloween. Not a lot of people were doing stuff still.
Oh, really?
And, which is, well, another conversation. But a lot of people were out partying and doing stuff still. Right. So it's like, here's 5 minutes of your night. You know what I mean? Like,
something to vibe to.
Yeah, if I would have made it, if I would have put the product out, and it would have been 8 songs, I guarantee you I wouldn't even have as many listens as I do now. And it's not a crazy amount, but still, it's like that replay. It also gives it replay value. You know what I mean?
Same here too, because when I listen to it, I listen to it's 2 songs, so I could listen to it over and over while we're prepping up.
That's exactly the whole another great plus about shorter projects that I like. And I like it when people release, like some of my favorite artists will just be like, oh, here's 4 tracks like every 3 months.
Right.
Like here's a little EP.
Just something to listen to for a while.
Yeah, exactly. And
appreciate that.
It's just little tasters, It's like when you go to Hy-Vee and you get a cracker with cheese from the fucking sample lady. Like that's what you get, and then you're going to get the whole box and a big lump of cheese later on.
Go get more if you want.
That's the whole album type shit. So
okay.
I'm working on, to answer to go back to the product thing, I kind of like spaced out, but I'm working on actually like a bigger project too, that I have no like real release date or like future near in mind, but I am working on something bigger than just like small EPs. But I'm doing the little EPs while I'm working on that.
Okay.
Because that is one thing I really do want to be perfect. But I don't want to spend all my time focusing on that being perfect and not put anything out. You know what I mean?
Right.
So yeah, it's all about like
still got to give them something to listen to.
Yeah. Knowing what to take your time on.
Okay.
Because like if I'm gonna put something huge out, I do want that to be good. If it's gonna be 8 songs, I want you to be captured the whole fucking time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Where it's like if I'm just doing quick shit, shorter amount is better.
Right.
But
okay, so we've kind of talked a little bit about you, and anything else you want to talk about? Anything else you want to give to the people before we get to these Minnesota topics?
Just want to say I appreciate everybody listening and everybody who goes and like checks this out after this or hasn't heard of me. I appreciate you. I hope you get to learn a little bit about me. And
where can they find you at? You want to give them your name, title, spelling, how they can search you up, all of that.
Yeah. My name's Nigel T, Nigel space capital T. I'm on SoundCloud, Instagram, Facebook, Spotify, iTunes.
What's your
Twitter.
Instagram handle?
My Instagram is Nigel Trippy. I believe that's my Twitter as well. And just on everything else like Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, all that shit. Also Nigel T. Make sure you put the space, you won't find it. That's about it, man. I appreciate everybody rocking with me. I'm going to be doing a lot more shit. Like he said, branding is a big thing that I'm looking into next. Getting merchandise. Just all of that, man. I'm taking big steps right now. I've got a lot of things I'm in the works. I'm not going to talk about until it's ready. Because then you motherfuckers will just... you won't even fucking expect it. And that's how you got to do it. Too many people talk about what they're doing.
True.
I'm just going to whip it out on you.
Okay, let's go. Appreciate that, man. Appreciate that.
No problem.
So let's get if you follow the show, what we do here is we have, you've obviously done a lot of introduction of you and your music, and we've talked about what you're working on. And next thing we do is we get into some Minnesota topics, and then later on we get into the rest of the country. So are you following up with sports? Do you follow sports?
Not really.
Yeah,
no.
You're a busy guy, man. I doubt you have the time to really sit and watch
I really
sports.
don't follow. I see little things here and there, like sports is so omnipresent. I end up learning shit that I didn't even care to know about it. So I do follow when I fucking see shit. That's about it.
So a little bit here, Vikings talk. Vikings play the Packers yesterday? Are you a big? Do you follow that rivalry? Is there any rivalry you kind of like pay attention to, whether it's music or sports? Like the intention, like the Vikings Packers rivalry, anything of that sort? As far as
I don't know. I'm not a big rivalry kind of guy.
Okay.
But I always liked, if we're talking like comparing it to music, I always did like battle rap.
Oh yeah,
battle rap's pretty fun to watch. Okay. Yeah, I've never been very good at it, but
we got some battle rap topic we'll get into later as far as T.I. and Jeezy.
Oh, word. Okay, right. Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, just
no, I don't really follow like the Vikings Packers rivalry as much. I used to when I was younger, of course, but
either way, man, the Vikings suck this year. The Packers are good. No, somehow we still beat the Packers yesterday, so it's always a good thing. And Vikings can't. I don't care how bad we suck. If we beat the Packers.
Everyone's always happy about that. Every time in my life, I fucking swear to God.
We don't have to play. We don't have to play fake Minnesota nice when we beat the Packers. We can actually be ourselves and like rub it into those Green Bay things. So, but there, I mean, just looking at the Vikings schedule, I've been big on this podcast as to, like, we should tank. Like, we should just suck and get a better quarterback because the one we have right now is not, like, he's not going to get it done as far as, like, win a Super Bowl. So
I've always said Vikings should tank every year. Just have the best team in, like, 10 years from now.
So then we come out and we beat the Packers yesterday. So then immediately as a sports fan, automatically I start thinking, maybe we could make the playoff, 2-5. Maybe it's not too late yet, but I mean, look at our schedule. We got Lions coming up, the Bears coming up. I don't care how good the Bears. I always feel like we could beat them because for some reason I just think the Bears.
I actually have heard they're really good this year.
Yeah, they're 5-3 or so. We got the Cowboys coming up next. They suck this year. We got the Panthers after the Cowboys. Teddy Two Glove, Teddy Bridgewater coming up. Yeah. Were you a Teddy fan?
I used to like him when I was paying attention to football. I was excited because I used to watch college football a lot. Yeah. And I actually watched Teddy Bridgewater play in Louisville a lot. Yeah, when I was younger. So.
He was mad dope there too. So
he was good as hell.
And he came here. Yeah, shout out to you, Teddy. We still got love for you out here. I got a Teddy Bridgewater jersey. That's how much of a fan I go back to. But yeah, Teddy's coming. Their Vikings played them later this year. I think we could beat them too. I mean, they got a good team, or okay team, but I still think we could beat them. So even though I was talking that tank, for a better quarterback, I'm like, hey, if we're gonna start winning now, we've got to win like 6-7 games in a row. We can't do like the win 1, lose 2. But And then after that, we got the Jaguars. So there's still hope for our Vikings, man. We just got to hang in there. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what at 2-5. I'm not sure how much noise we could really make. But
that's part of the reason I got out of sports too.
See
just because Minnesota teams, man,
it get your hopes up and then just
it's so over fucking. I'm over
and then
it.
the Gophers, the same thing too. I thought, okay, maybe we might be able to sneak a Big Ten win this year, and then start the season we lose our first 2 games. So that's over with already. So that's enough football talk for Minnesota, man. It's doom and gloomy right now. So, but hey, shout out to our Vikings. At least we got
still doing it.
Yeah, we got the job done yesterday. It's the Packers, so that's always feels good. So, on next we got Timberwolves on the clock. Are you watching basketball? Is there? I know you're not.
I haven't really paid much attention to basketball.
Just when was the last time you was paying attention to basketball? Don't say the Kevin Garnett era.
No, jeez.
Okay.
It's been way sooner than that.
Okay.
Last time I paid attention to basketball was the year before. No, wait, the year Cat got drafted.
Okay.
Was the last time I
Wiggins
was really
Wiggins rookie year.
Wiggins
rookie year.
The year after Wiggins rookie year, because then Cat was drafted after Wiggins, wasn't he? Yeah. So that year.
So when Cat first came.
Yeah. Okay. So that was when I was like.
It's like, 2 first round,
20 or some shit like that. Yeah. And so I paid attention till about then with basketball, not just the Timberwolves, but just everybody. Now I sometimes I enjoy playing 2K when I don't own a video game system, but
who's your favorite 2K
team? When I get my hands on a
team?
stick, I'll fuck around. I like using the Celtics always.
Okay.
I've always fucked with the Celtics though, since I was like, I don't even know, a little kid. Probably because I knew they were the best team, so I was like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna root for the best." And I hated.
Was it when Kevin Garnett? Was it when Kevin Garnett was on the Celtics?
Before that, I liked him even, but that was when. But fuck, who was the Rajon Rondo. Okay. He was like my favorite player on the Celtics for a long time, which is funny because like they had way better players than him.
Rondo was really good. Yeah, once upon a time he was like arguably best point guard. So
he had handles and he could fucking pass that ball to anybody, like not even looking at him. He was crazy. His shit was fun as hell to watch.
So I mean, Timberwolves on the clock right now. I got the first pick.
I've heard that.
Yeah, there's like 3 people who argue might be the first pick, and like one guy who his name is James Wiseman. He kind of just came by and said he doesn't want anything to do with Minnesota.
I actually know who that is. He's a center, right?
Right. Yeah. Okay, exactly. So you're following.
I know
basketball?
a little bit. Like I said, I know some stuff I see.
Hey, listen, man. I just thought that I had to give you the rundown.
No. I know some stuff I see, but I don't know any of the other picks.
Yeah.
Like I don't know anybody else who's like. I don't know any of the other players. Really. I don't think.
I almost want to say Lonzo Ball, but not Lonzo Ball. LaMelo Ball.
I know him. Yeah, I know the Ball brothers.
Anthony Edwards.
I have heard of that dude too.
So all 3 of them could possibly be the number 1 pick, but just James Wiseman kind of just came out and said he doesn't want. He says because Cat is here, but I've on a previous episode I kind of came out and said I think that's who Minnesota needs to draft, just him, pair him up with Towns, too big. People are saying it might not work because too bigs, but I just think with the league switching and everyone going small and playing small ball, if you have 2 dominant big men, you can kind of be like the odd one out to where no team. Even the Lakers kind of did that versus the Heat in the finals when they was like just dominant, just play 2 big men. And so I think if the Wolves do that, that can kind of be a way to zig when everyone is zagging or zag when everyone is
especially because Cat's actually pretty athletic.
Right, so Cat can step out. Right, so but he just came out and said he doesn't want anything to do with Minnesota because they have Cat. So just as far as have you how often do you think people get like the wrong impression of Minnesota? Kind of like I think what he's getting right now. Do people in music or like people you want to work with or people from the places you've lived, Oregon, Sioux Falls, do they a lot of the time have like the wrong impression of what they think Minnesota is?
I think some people do. I think a lot of people assume that there's like nothing here, that it's just like a nowhere, like nothing. Like I know I said that
trees and snow.
I know that I said like Minnesota was a fake place, but I didn't mean like the atmosphere itself. Right. Just the people with being fake this summer, but overall Minnesota, there's like so much, especially if we're talking pre-pandemic.
Yeah,
Minnesota had a lot of shit you could be doing, and a lot to offer. I just think a lot of people didn't like look at because every scene here, doesn't matter if it's music or fucking like
art, entertainment,
the skateboarding scene, like every scene in Minneapolis, I swear is like just fucking crazy. Yeah. Like people just go nuts. People go hard as hell because there's nothing else to fucking do in Minnesota besides go hard as hell on what you love, and that's why there's like honestly now so much to do is because so many people went hard on what they love. Like there's the sculptures and the art galleries and you know, like I said, pre-COVID there was multiple music venues always having shows. There, you know, the skate scene was skate shops thriving, doing well. Like it just. There's a lot of shit going on here that I think a lot of people sleep on. Because, like I said, I think they just assume there's like nothing going on.
Nothing to do. So. Nah, it's a dope. It's a dope place. People just need to like. You create your own happiness. You know, as far as like exactly. This way you can find things or do things in the city that's dope. Do you have anybody specific you think that the team should draft? You know, you said something about LaMelo Ball, Anthony Edwards, and Weissman. Who do you think? Who do you want to see?
I don't even know who the Timberwolves like has for a starting lineup anymore. I know that Andrew Wiggins isn't there anymore.
Wiggins is gone.
I know that we have Towns and that fucking oh my god, I don't know his name. We got him from the Warriors though. Yeah, right. We still have him.
Yeah. I
would say just get a fucking guard or a wing. But that's just me because we already have like a good point and a center then.
Right.
But
I see that.
I don't know. I don't know. Like those players, I know their names, but I don't know like
what
how they play or what. I know that Anthony Edwards dude can dunk like a muff. That's why I know who he is. There's videos of him dunking on Facebook. He's very athletic. So
I don't know. Like I said, man, I've came out and said James Wiseman, just go big. I mean, if the other guards were like, I thought there could be like superstars there maybe, but I thought we have enough guards. Let's just go big and. Maybe we could trade him for something else later on, depending on like how good he gets. But and the team just needs, at this point, we need to start winning. It's been too many losing for too long, but let's go. You spoke something about pre-pandemic, just like the things there, speaking of Minnesota being lit pre-pandemic, is recently just Chino Latino closed down. I think they've been open for like 12 years. Do you know where that is?
I've never been there, but I know what it is. I've heard that a lot of people.
I haven't either, but a lot of people were
like fucking bummed about that shit. And I have never eaten there, so I can't empathize, but it sucks hearing like everything's closing too. Yeah. So it's just like once you see another business, it's like, yeah, this ain't good, man.
Right. Like, it was a big deal on Twitter and just people freaking out about like, but I mean, I had never been there. It's just it's just weird seeing like some of like our favorite spots in the cities and stuff like closed down after the pandemic and especially businesses. Just thinking like I think the pandemic is like really going to impact like the food business as far as like physical places that have physical location who rely on like, hundreds of people coming out to eat in a day. And now all of a sudden they've got to go to like a delivery method. And some places aren't set up for delivery. The food that they're cooking, you can't just put up in a box and send over.
Yeah. True that. So, I don't even know what this shit's going to look like, honestly. Like, I really...
Did you have any special spots in Cato like you used to go to as far as like that might be in Cato that's not in the cities?
I used to actually really like this place called La Bamba in Mankato. If you live in Mankato, you know about La Bamba.
Shout out Cato again.
Fucking guarantee it. And that place has just dope ass Mexican food.
Yeah, been there.
Fat ass fucking you know what I'm talking about. Yeah. Man. Fat ass burritos. Every time you'd be downtown at the end of the night because they'd be open till like fucking 3 or 4 in the morning, and so
they know that drunk audience that comes from downtown.
After I'd be performing downtown, I'd go to La Bamba and smash some nachos or a fucking burrito. That place is the shit.
Dope.
So yeah, I miss that place.
Dope. Okay, so and we have a new music spotlight segment that we usually do, but. Since I have you here, we're just going to make that your segment already. You kind of ran down your music and the music that's out real quick. So for all of the people that constantly listen each week, the new music segment this week is Nigel T. I Think I'm Haunted, out on Spotify, SoundCloud, Apple Music, search on YouTube, everything. It's a 2-song EP, super dope, man. Just production value. Get more into his kind of music if you want to check him out to see what we're talking about here, get a little bit more in depth of like the artist and the person behind this video and this audio. So.
Yeah, I always say, like, I can talk about myself, but the best feel you're going to get is, like, playing the shit and just taking a trip inside my mind for a little bit.
I saw you at Shut Up and Rap, after the first performance. I was like, okay, dope. So then, obviously, we exchanged contact back after your performance and talked a little bit more. And then I went and looked you up, and I'm like, oh, it's even more than what was on stage.
Yeah.
That's dope. Now, also, quickly here, you said something about just battles and verses. Are you... Are you keeping up with the versus battles on IG?
Honestly, no. I didn't even know like about this whole Ti.
Yeah, so the Swiss Beats and like Timberland started something on Versus where they do like artists go against each other. Just play like 20 songs from your catalog, and I play 20 songs from my catalog. And
really?
So they do that. Yeah. So they've been doing that. So we have Ti and Jeezy coming up in November. I think November 18th.
And they're both doing 20 songs.
I don't know if it's 20, but it's usually been about 20 or so. So just play 20 songs. I think they're both in the same room settings, kind of like this, and then like just playing music back and forth.
I think T.I. is going to win that.
You think T.I. is going to win?
I think T.I. is going to win.
I don't know, man. I think as far as like the popular music, T.I. is going to win that because he has like that's what I mean. I
think he's got those hits that they've been around longer, so I think he's resonated with more people. Yeah, is I guess what I think.
But as far as like
Jeezy does have the young
the trap, that thug, that gutter music. I mean, not saying T.I. don't have that. T.I. has that too, but Jeezy has more of like that underground music. And
wait,
like,
did you say Jeezy or
Jeezy?
Oh,
not
Jeezy.
Jeezy. No. Oh, two different artists.
I was like, wait, what?
Young Jeezy.
I was like, trap?
No, not G-Eazy. No. Shout out to G-Eazy too. But no, Jeezy.
Okay,
T.I.
Jeezy. Okay.
Both from Atlanta. Now that makes sense, right? That's a more proper pairing.
That's why I was like, T.I. would win against Jeezy.
Okay. No, Jeezy. Young Jeezy.
Oh man, that is hard actually.
Yeah. You still think T.I.?
I don't know if I can say it.
It's a tough one. I'm waiting for that one. I'm excited about that one. A few people wanted to battle T.I. I know he wanted to battle 50 Cent. I don't think 50 Cent wants that match. I think 50 Cent is looking for somebody more like a Dr. Dre or so. But Busta Rhymes came out and said he wanted to challenge T.I. T.I. said, not really. We're not the same fan. We don't have the same audience or so. But then T.I. versus Jeezy. Now that's perfect. Both of them trap music. Both of them from Atlanta. Both of them have similar core base. So I'm excited about that one.
Yeah, that's interesting. I kind of want to check some of these out now. See who else they got.
Yeah, they got quite a few. Who else? I think Snoop and who did one? I forgot who Snoop went up against.
Sounds like Wiz and Snoop would be a perfect duo. Perfect matchup.
That is a good one. That is a good one. But I think Snoop already did one. Who would you want to go against if you did a versus? Like, it could be local, it could be fuck it, man. We'll put you up against a big famous star. Who would you want to do a versus?
I don't even have 20 songs yet, so I can't. 20 songs.
Okay, we're doing 10. We're doing 10. 10 songs.
But yeah, no. If we were doing just catalog versus catalog, I would probably do like some of these guys that are kind of carving out more of a lane, like similar to mine, like Suicide Boys or like Scarlord, Ghostbane.
Okay.
Trying to think of anybody else that's on like that darker vibe I could like go up against type shit.
Suicide Boys. I haven't gotten too much into their music yet, but I'm hearing a lot about them. Man.
That's who I get compared to quite a bit. I get compared to like Suicide Boys, Flatbush Zombies, and Scarlord a lot, and Ghostbane too. Just from the like yelling and shit.
Dope. Is there one of those who you want to do like a versus battle with?
Yeah, I'd do a versus battle with fucking probably all four of them if I could.
Okay. Bring on all four of them, man. I got Nigel T said, fuck 1-on-1. Bring 1 versus 4.
1v4.
I like that energy. So quickly here, we're wrapping up here. Quickly, I just got a few more topics I want to ask you about and talk to you about.
For sure.
Crazy. One thing that I'm a big Kanye West fan. I've talked Kanye pretty much all 7 episodes I've done. Just because I think Kanye is dope, and I do think he's a dickhead sometimes, but he's a genius as far as. So this week, in this week news, Kanye news, he gave to his wife Kim Kardashian like a hologram of her dad. Like how do you? That's just a weird.
Is her dad dead?
Yeah. Okay. Rob Kardashian.
I did not know that.
I
don't know much about the Kardashians. Okay.
How do you feel about holograms?
I don't keep up.
You're not keeping up with the Kardashians, man. How do you feel about holograms? Just period overall.
I think they're trippy as fuck. I think we could live in a hologram.
See, that's just.
I don't know.
I just feel uncomfortable. Like, don't present me a gift of somebody who passed away. I have some people that have passed away that, I would like to hear from, but now I got to think about that every birthday after. Like, and then the most brilliant part, man, like I said, I love Kanye, so I think it's as much ego as Kanye has, this is what I thought was brilliant. He made the hologram say that she's married to, and this is, imagine making your wife, dad that passed away hologram called you the most genius man in the world. Like, how much ego do you? How much ego do you have?
Did her dad ever even meet Kanye?
No.
Oh my god.
And then the other odd thing about the whole hologram is like he's just talking to her. I'm like, doesn't he have like 4 other kids? So how do they feel just watching the hologram, not even mention anything about them? Like,
yeah,
the hologram just said everything about Kim Kardashian. I'm like, I mean, he does have.
That's just like piss on your fucking face money. Like, oh, you have rent problems?
Yeah.
I just bought my wife a fucking hologram.
50,000 hologram
like,
of her dad. Yeah.
That shit's crazy.
That's crazy.
I don't know, man. I think holograms are fucking weird. I think it's
let's
I don't know.
I
think if you can make I think if you could make a hologram too real too, that like that kind of gets that whole line of like where people get uncomfortable with AI and robots being too real, you know?
Are we gonna have hologram walking among us? Is that what's coming up?
That's what I mean. Like if that type of shit happened, that'd be fucking weird. Because then you gotta
oh, it's a hologram.
Yeah, you're like, oh wait, this thing's just like a conscious member of society, but it has no like, I don't even know, man. There's just like, I'm not big on this whole like technical sci-fi wave that's happening. Just because I think there's like, don't get me wrong, I think technology making life easier is fucking great. I love that, but there's that whole side where shit gets fucking weird. It's crazy, when they start making robots human and having feelings and shit.
Have you seen some of the ones? Man, I've seen some ones where what's the guy from it's not even Jeff Bezos. What's the guy from Tesla?
Oh yeah, Elon Musk.
Yeah, he did like some robot thing to where it's like the robot is like reacting to his hand movement like word for word, and I'm just like, man, what are we like? What's next?
It's really odd. Thank you. It's really odd, and especially there was a news broadcast I saw recently where someone was interviewing a robot. I don't remember what company made the robot, but it looked very human-like, except it had like this weird like metal dome thing on its head. But the dude interviewing it was like, do robots have feelings? And the robot was like, not all robots have feelings like I do, but I have been programmed to feel a complex range of blah, blah, blah. And it's like, that's the shit you see in movies. When the robots start having feelings, they start killing people. Man, they get mad.
Man.
Like,
it starts out like playful like this, and before we look, we're having a robot war pretty soon.
Like it's some weird shit that like I remember seeing movies where it happened when I was like 10, as a little kid. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, it's a cool movie. Now you're like, shit, like that shit is getting might real. End up happening. I don't fucking know. I hope not. I pray we wake the fuck up.
I want to wrap up here quickly. Let's get quickly here. Just, I mean, we wouldn't be a current event spot, a current event podcast, a current event spot. Place to discuss things that we didn't talk about the election briefly here. You know, we have the election right around the corner. Is there? And I think Minnesota is becoming like a big state as far as both candidates equally wanting to win this state. You know, Trump kind of.
I've noticed that too.
Yeah, Trump was. We all assumed 2016 Hillary was going to win Minnesota easily, and then Trump kind of like she still won it, but it was a very narrow margin. And just this year, I feel like it's almost like a push for him to actually realizing like, oh, maybe I could actually win Minnesota. You know, he had a rally out here in Rochester this weekend, and then
he had one in Mankato this summer.
He did?
Or early fall, yeah.
Yeah.
He came to Mankato and shit.
Yeah, I think I saw that.
Or no, I don't know if it was a rally, but I think he was at the airport for some reason.
Yeah, and same thing he did with Rochester.
The city went crazy, though. I know that.
Right. So, and then there was Biden has some fake video online of him like calling. He was actually in Minnesota, but the video made it seem as where somebody changed something with the background he was on and put Tampa, Florida. So then it seemed like he was in Tampa Bay, Florida, calling that Minnesota. But when he was actually in Minnesota earlier this summer. So then that kind of went crazy, and Twitter had to like take that video down because they said it was like, you know, fake news. But just a lot of things around Minnesota around the election, just as far as like both candidates trying to win here. So as far as, and you don't have to say specifically who you're voting for. We're trying to leave that off the platform. But just, have you voted yet?
No, I have not.
Do you plan on?
Yes.
Okay, that's
sort
dope.
of potentially. I'm kind of in the air about a lot of shit. I'm gonna be completely honest with people out there. I'm very paranoid and skeptical of a lot of things.
Of course.
And I overthink a lot by myself. So I haven't. The only reason I say that I plan on it and I'm not sure is because I don't know what I'm gonna put yet.
Is this your first time voting?
Yes.
Nice.
So when I was younger and Trump was running, I was just like completely, and I don't say this proudly, completely like oblivious to the fucking political world.
Right.
Like I was 19 when that shit happened or something like that. So
right.
I was really young when that happened, and I just did not like give a fuck.
Right.
I didn't think the world affected me when I was a 19-year-old.
That mattered.
Yeah, and then like, well, you know, that's how it always works though, right? Once shit starts affecting people, they start caring, and that's an unfortunate truth about us as a society. But that's why now I want to try to do what I can. I really don't know what the best move is.
You got one more day, man.
Trust me, I've been like thinking, and I don't think anyone knows what the best move is, and that's where I get pressured because I have friends who are like,
you just gotta vote for you, man.
And I'm just gonna do what I want.
Yeah, exactly, man.
That's all you can do.
Keep your process to yourself and just like do what's best for you. But just as far as like people with their best interest in, this is for this week's controversy. We're gonna talk about, you know, a lot of rappers coming out, Wayne, Lil Pump, and I think Wayne and Lil Pump have two different reasons for why they're endorsing Trump. Lil Pump might
just know about that.
Oh yeah, Wayne put out a picture on Twitter of him with Trump, shaking his hand, kind of like vividly endorsing him. But then Lil Pump has been out, and I think Lil Pump is doing this for clout, just to revive his career, because we're still looking for another hit from him. But he kind of has a tendency to be more about the IG than about his music per se. But he came out endorsing Trump too, so, and a lot of people are just mad at, like, you know, these two, not Trump, not Pump per se, Lil Pump, but more about Lil Wayne. Just kind of like, why would you endorse Trump at this time? You know, you're kind of swaying and impacting the vote. And I always have just been somebody who said, look, we can't count on celebs to like give us their intake as far as like who we should vote for, because a lot of times they're rich ass dudes who are voting for their public interest, as far as like, hey, if this guy become president, I'm gonna lose a lot of money in taxes, or if this guy becomes president, I might save a little bit more money,
or somebody like gets them in the, I don't know if, I don't want to say that these guys are paid per se, but you know, they could be, or there could be something like you said that sways them in that interest of, hey, I need to endorse this guy because then it will lead to blah blah blah. Yeah. McDonald's, Wendy's, and Taco Bell like did a shitload of money. I don't know if this is true or not, but from what I heard, it was like because they would get a tax break, some sort of tax break if they donated X amount of money to Trump's campaign. Right. So like, there's shit like that, like, oh yeah, like you said, if you're saving money later, you're gonna vote for the fucking.
So that's why I'm like, you know, and I wanted to talk about it in this week's controversy, just because I'm like, why do we like, you know, look up to these people thinking like everyone votes for their best interest? Like even me, if I was voting, I mean, I'm not nowhere rich. I'm still technically considered poor, but if I'm voting for who I think, with the best potential, or who I think is the best interest of me. So we can't, like, you know, it would be nice for especially people as rich as Wayne if they would, like, you know, say, hey, this is best for my people, or this is best for the people I like, if this person is candidate. Or even he might really think that that's what Trump is for him, which is fine. But I kind of just think it's weird that when we look up to celebs as like, oh, you're supposed to tell me to vote for who I think is in my best interest, rather than you telling me to vote for who I think it's, who you think is in your best interest. Everyone has their best interest. If you understand what I'm saying, right?
Yep. So that's true. That's true. A lot of people try to jump on. Yeah, you can go. I'll leave that for the end.
Yeah, nah, a lot of people, they want to. I'm not mad at these, even 50 Cent. I'm not mad at people. I mean, I like to hear these people input. So if you're voting for him, I want to hear it. But I think there's not people out there that's mature enough to say, okay, this is who he's voting for. That's his best interest, but that shouldn't sway my best interest. Yeah. I should still be able to. I should still want to vote. But I appreciate him letting me know, like, that's what influenced his votes. Like, okay, saving money on taxes influenced his vote. As soon as the same way as like maybe getting money in my pocket might be influencing my vote. Whichever candidate can do that. So I just find that weird. But it wasn't a big controversy, but it's just something I wanted to talk about briefly. So
I think that's an interesting topic for sure. I didn't even know that happened.
Yeah, Wayne, celebs are going crazy, and it's funny. A lot of celebs kind of like, especially the ones that are endorsing Trump, I think they kind of waited late. And then they're now coming out, like the last few weeks or so, I've seen a lot of my favorite wrestlers come by and endorse Trump. And I'm like, still, it doesn't influence me. I still like, oh, nice. Okay, that's who you're, nice to know. But it doesn't influence me. Rappers, celebs.
Exactly.
Like, where have you been the last year or so? But either way, it's nice to see them coming out and supporting who they want to support. But quickly here, and this is almost the end, it's a new music segment where we just talk about the new music that's out and some of the famous or not famous people that are putting out music. And this is just a rundown quickly. I really, this has been a crazy Halloween and I've been super busy, so I haven't really gotten a chance to listen to any of these music yet. I do plan on doing that this week, but these are some of the new music that I plan to go back and listen to that's out right now. King Von, Welcome to Old Block. Are you listening to King Von?
King Von's dope.
Yeah, he's putting out a lot of music, and I think this might be like the break he's been looking for. He's getting a lot of attention from things he's doing as far as like just being a storyteller in his music. So I'm kind of like saying that. But King Von, Welcome to Old Block. Like I said, I haven't listened to any of these yet, so I don't have opinions about them, but I do plan on it. Another one is Wizkid, Made in Lagos. This is a Nigerian guy. Are you into like Afro beats and African music?
I like Afro beats. Yeah.
So he's like one of the most famous Afro beat artists. He's done work with Drake. I think he's done work with Beyonce. So he's very popular as far as Wizkid. He's got new music out there called Made in Lagos. So shout out to all my Najas babies out there, man. We see you, Wizkid. Another artist, Busta Rhymes. Extension Level Event 2, The Wrath of God.
I've heard a lot of mixed reviews on that.
Yeah, I've heard nothing but positive though. I've heard a lot of people say this is like one of his best work.
Really? I'm in a very pretentious hip hop group on Facebook.
What are they saying?
There, just a lot of people were just saying it was just like bad beat selection, like the beats weren't very polished. That was one thing I heard. Again, though, I haven't heard it yet. I try not to be one of those people that listen to what other people say before I jump onto something or try something out myself.
Right.
But it's just been funny, the mixed reviews, because on my regular Facebook, I've heard it's good. But like I said, that pretentious hip hop group, everybody says it's not good.
Rocking with it.
But we'll see. I've
heard a lot of people and DJs, a lot of DJs. I think Peter Parker online, Mr. Peter Parker. Who else? I forgot. I saw 2 DJs on Twitter just kind of say like this is one of his best work. And he recently came by and posted, I think he posted a picture on IG of him like he was super fat earlier in the year or something. And he was like another picture side by side of him just in like phenomenal shape. I don't care about manship and whatnot, but it's just like I'll be honest, dude was in shape with the 6-packs and he had everything right. So just kind of watching him, and he said something in an interview. I heard him saying like the reason he hasn't been putting out music is just because he's been feeling kind of fat, bloated, and he didn't want to like put out music when he wasn't feeling good on the inside.
Yeah.
Have you ever had that as far as like where mentally you're just not in a place to put out music and you just so
pretty much a lot of 2020 was that. So I've been quiet, but Halloween was my coming out time again for balling and just making some shit. Crazy
absolutely. Shit. So seeing him in like dope ass shit and then putting out music also around that time, that's dope. So Busta Rhymes. And then another dude, Deontay Hitchcock, he put out a deluxe version to his last project called Better. This is more of like a local. He's not local as in like Minnesota. He's local as in he's from Atlanta, but he's somebody like legitimately on YouTube I've been following since like 2016-ish, and he's just been working hard. I think this is like the spotlight he's been waiting for. So dope to see him putting out music out there too. Another one quickly, Trippie Redd. Are you following Trippie? Do you listen to Trippie?
I listen to Trippie Redd actually quite a bit. Not all of his stuff. I'm actually one of those people who I like his earlier stuff more than the newer stuff. I know a lot of people who are opposite, but I haven't listened to this new album at all.
Pegasus.
I've heard mixed reviews again.
Oh yeah.
But that's the thing is I'm willing to jump in myself.
I haven't listened to any Trippie music. I'm just gonna be honest. One of the reason I have it strictly here is because just the reviews on Twitter has been really good. People are saying like this is his best work yet. So strictly for that reason is why I have it here, but I'm not too much with.
I might check it tonight. Honestly, I've kind of forgot about it. I popped it up on my Spotify the other day, and I was mixing or some shit or trying to test my own music or something like that, and I was like, I'll listen to it later, and forgot about it. But I'm gonna check it out tonight.
Okay, and then the last spot I kind of have saved. Omarion has new music out there. It's called The Connection or something. Yeah, not too big of a Omarion fan either, but again, one of those things to where I'm like, I'm happy to see him getting back into the music. I know his personal life.
Surprised, holy shit! Yeah, I'm surprised.
I know his personal life kind of dominated his the 2020, 2019 for him, but it's dope to see him coming out there and still putting out music after battling everything he battled with his marriage and his family life and stuff. So that's crazy. It. So we're wrapping up here. Yeah, Omarion has new music out there, man. So, but yeah, shout out to my guy Nigel T for coming through, man. This is episode 7, of course. Minnesota Leads, America Follow podcast. Is there anything last words about Minnesota music you want to get out there?
If you're a Minnesota creative, whether it's art, paintings, music, whatever it is, don't stop putting shit out there. Right now is like the time we need content more than ever in Minnesota because there's no venues. Yeah. There's no tours. Pretty much everybody's on pause inside. So keep creating, keep doing what you do because that's what's going to keep this scene alive out here. Also, this is kind of not musical related, but don't, like you were saying, don't like follow people just because they say they endorse something. You know, think for yourself. Have individual thought. That's one thing I always try to put out at the end of anything I get a chance to say because I believe we live in a world of following right now. Right. And don't be a fucking follower. You know, don't be Instagram. You're not fucking Instagram. You're a human being with individual thought. Create the individual thought. Follow it. Believe in yourself. Love yourself. Do what you got to do. Stay creative.
And where can they find the music?
You find my music, Spotify, iTunes, YouTube, SoundCloud.
What should they search? What should they search to get to you?
Nigel T, Nigel space capital T. Bump what you want. Fucking add it to your playlist. Send it to a friend if it makes you feel some type of way.
After typing in Nigel T, what else can they type in to get directly to you? Let's say if they struggle finding after searching Nigel T. Is there a specific song that you want them to get straight to? Your best music that you think, okay, if you want to know more about me, searching Nigel T blank after.
Nigel T, Get Out of My Head is a song that I really like. That's one that I fucking just gets me every time. MK Ultra, you can look those up. Those are 2 videos I've done very well for me on YouTube if you like visual shit. Otherwise, Spotify will pop right up. SoundCloud will pop right up. YouTube has some problems with that shit for some reason, but look up the music videos. Like I said, MK Ultra.
Hey, listen,
Get Out
man.
of My Head.
You know you are dope, and you know what you're creating has like it's, I don't want to say controversial, but like there's strong opinions about it if YouTube is like censoring you and whatnot. So definitely check out my guy Nigel T, man. I think I'm Haunted. It's out on Spotify, everywhere else, man. It's been dope checking out with you. Thanks for coming by, man. Appreciate you, my guy. Keep making music, man, and hopefully we'll meet somewhere down later.
Oh, hell yeah.
Appreciate you. Bang, boom, boom. That's it, man. Appreciate you.
Yeah, no doubt, dude. It was fun. Had a great time.